Welcome back. Former President Donald Trump poised to outraise Biden and Democrats for the second straight month. Megan Cassella joins us here with the details. Megan.
Melissa, that's exactly right. So Trump and his campaign are saying that they raised a remarkable $141 million in May alone, and much of it from small dollar donors in the hours immediately following his guilty verdict. So the official fundraising data comes out on Thursday. That's when we'll be able to verify Trump's numbers and see what Biden and the Democrats also raised. But the $141 million figure likely puts him on top for the month. It's roughly as much as the Biden team had raised in March and April combined, and it will underscore how, with both that primary and the trial behind him, Trump really has the fundraising momentum at the moment. That could change in June. So Biden and former President Obama headlined that star-studded Hollywood fundraiser that reportedly raised the most money in party history at $30 million. But Trump also wrapped up a West Coast swing the week before that, which the campaign says raised about $27 million. The Democratic bundlers I've spoken with this week say they feel the policy environment is keeping Democrats engaged right now, with topics like gun safety, IVF, and abortion rights in the news, and that's going to help the Biden campaign win small dollar support. They dismiss concerns over Trump's fundraising, saying they always knew he would catch up, especially, guys, since he does have those wealthy donors writing him big checks to help him raise money quickly.
Neither of these campaigns seem in imminent danger of running out of money anytime soon, right? I mean, they've got plenty of money.
Plenty of money. And I did talk with one person who tried to downplay this, saying they're always going to be able to run a campaign. Both of them are at the presidential level. There's no problem there. But the money does matter. I mean, on one hand, you're buying out ads. The Biden campaign has secured a lot of ads for later this year. So they're already doing that before they get more expensive, before they fill up. The early money can go a long way. It's also a signal, though, of excitement, especially at the small dollar level. So when we get the data on Thursday, that's one thing to be looking for. Biden so far has really been outpacing Trump in the official data on the small dollar.
On small dollars, is that right? Yeah.
Open Secrets as of April said 47% of Biden's donations were small dollars and 30% of Trump's. That really could have changed. Trump's team is really leaning into for this most recent month, saying that it was small dollars in particular. So we'll have to see. But it can be a signal of who are you most excited about? And also, who do you think is the most viable candidate? Who do you think is most likely to win? People want to put their money behind the candidate they think can win.
There was a narrative that out in Silicon Valley, there were notable, investors, venture capitalists throwing their weight behind Trump now. Is that actually playing out in terms of where we're seeing the corporate, the VC sort of money go?
Definitely at the hedge funds and the VC firms, That's right. So Doug Leone, Ken Griffin, Steve Schwarzman, it was some of these people who had previously, many of them had distanced themselves from Trump and then came back to him. Where you're not yet seeing a big wave is in the other part of corporate America, right? Public company CEOs. We saw the meetings last week, but we haven't seen a ton of endorsements yet for either candidate at that level. And one of the analysts I spoke with this week said to me, actually, it was one of the Democratic fundraisers who said, that to me is the real corporate America. That's going to be more of a test than if you're at your own hedge fund, you have more flexibility.
My guess is that relatively fewer heads of those corporate America companies are going to speak out and endorse anybody.
I agree. I think it's a different environment.
I think it's a different environment. I don't think they want to stick there. It's very little upside to it.
Yeah, exactly. Same with even supporting the conventions or even with lending your internet to the convention. We're just likely not seeing as much.
No matter which side you're on, I remember that famous Michael Jordan quote, "Republicans buy Nikes too." I mean, it was so one way or another, you don't want to alienate customers.
You either do neither or you do both. And I think that could be interesting, too, if we start to see CEOs donate to both candidates if they suddenly think this is actually a really close race, either one could win.